Welcome back to Behind the Seams, the podcast that takes you behind the game and into the minds of those shaping and growing the game of college baseball. I'm your host, Harrison Cordell Fant, and today, a special episode recording SEC baseball tournament preview. The postseason's here. And yes, it's still everyone qualifying for the postseason with a lot of formats that conference tournaments have, but I mean, it's postseason baseball, it's conference tournament time. It's hard not to be excited about this. The season's flown by. I mean, it felt like I was in Global I Field here for college baseball showdown just weeks ago, and it was almost 4 months ago. It's unbelievable. But SEC tournament here in Hoover, Alabama. I unfortunately will not be in Hoover, Alabama this year with other work obligations in just logistics, but excited to preview and break down and go through my SEC bracket for the conference tournament here. If you've never been to the Hoover SEC tournament, highly, highly, highly recommend you go. It's hard the first round, those first four games, because it's single elimination. It it's just actually I think it's all single elimination now. Have they changed it? I mean, it's one of those things that the later in the tournament that it gets, the more fun and the more fans that show up. Obviously, because it starts on Tuesday and it goes all the way through game 15 on May 24th, which is I mean, it's Sunday, so it's the weekend. Obviously, you have everyone off, but that Thursday, Friday, I mean, it's SEC baseball. It doesn't get any bigger than that. And so these fans are so passionate about baseball. If you've never been to Hoover, first off, wear sunscreen, bring a hat, bring some shades, bring a poncho because it always seems to either rain or flirt with rain in Hoover. And speaking of that, the weather forecast for Hoover, Alabama, it has been so dry this spring apparently, but the weather forecast, it was supposed to be showers almost every single day. It is ridiculous how that happens when the SEC baseball tournament comes to town. Every fan knows that. I mean, looking at it right now, the 10-day forecast, you got the tournament starting tomorrow, May 19th on Tuesday. 6% chance of rain. Okay, good. 24% chance on Wednesday. 44% chance on Thursday. 62% chance on Friday. 59% chance on Saturday. 55% chance on Sunday. So I would expect there to be two pieces of rainstorms at least, if not more, throughout the SEC tournament. You never know what you're going to get in Hoover. And a weather delay, a rain delay is always bound to happen. It feels like, except the last 2 years that I've been, 24 and 25, got the SEC tournament cup here. Super cool cup. Love that with all the bats on it. Awesome. Highly recommend. Got to wet the whistle there, but super cool. They have great merch. It's so much fun for the fans. Everyone has an incredible time. It's a great way to bring the entire conference together, and it's the best baseball in college. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I will attach and overlay my bracket here in post production. Round one, game one, you have 16 versus 9, Missouri versus Ole Miss. And shout out first to College Baseball Insiders, the guys there, Matt and Quentin, do a phenomenal, phenomenal job. Just their coverage of college baseball and the website they've done at collegebaseballinsiders.com. Beautiful. It is so seamless and beautiful. I'm a huge fan of it. Been diving into it more and more lately, late in the season here, and we'll be doing more so throughout the rest of the season. And just want to give them a shout out, give them their kudos, give them their props. They do an unbelievable job. They're growing the game unlike anyone else in college baseball, and just shout out to them. So game one, Missouri, Ole Miss, like I said, 83% chance is what they have for Ole Miss winning this game. I think it's not going to be close. I think Ole Miss is going to absolutely go out and take care of business. I think that I just trust their pitching so much more than honestly a lot of teams in the SEC. I think they have one of the best rotations here. Obviously, it's a one game, but just I think it's Missouri's been better this year, but it's Ole Miss. I think they take care of business here easily. Game one, 10:30 a.m. game one, which is ridiculous. So it's one of those things that Ole Miss plays in the SEC tournament all the time and goes deep. They know what to do here to take care of business. Game two, 2 o'clock, Kentucky Vanderbilt, the 13 versus 12. I think Vanderbilt has something they have to play for here. I mean, they're on the ball. They have the longest postseason streak of any team in college baseball of making it to a regional. It's at 18, and they're flirting with. They're looking on the outside, looking in, and I really don't think they're gonna make it. But I mean, it's still possible. Obviously, if they go on a huge, huge deep run here they can, but they have a 73 RPI, 52 strength of schedule. I mean, non-conference schedule is horrible. 137 non-conference RPI 137, non-conference strength of schedule 246. It's one of the worst in college baseball. So it's they have a massive uphill battle to fight. I don't see them going 0 and out here versus Kentucky. Give me the Vandy boys to win one. Next game 3, 15 versus 13 Tennessee. Tennessee, it's going to be like 7-1, 8-1. Just give me the Vols. One of the best teams, I think, that's playing some of their best ball right now during the season is Tennessee and just how everything's coming together. Tegan Coons, the amount I don't think he pitches in this game because he's going to pitch against Arkansas, and it's giving him that extra day of rest that he's already going to be short today. But you got to throw Coons against Arkansas if you're going to have a chance to go deep. And Tennessee, I mean, has been quietly making a season to remember in a different way just with how it started for them. 31 RPI. Could they go on a deep run and host? I I really think they do, and I think it's absolutely possible. So there's that as well. So give me them. Give me the Vols advance. LSU, Oklahoma, 14 versus 11. Crazy to think that LSU is going to miss the postseason. Regional NCAA tournament as a whole, there's no way in my mind that I can see LSU going over here in Hoover. I don't care what LSU team this is. This is one of the worst LSU teams, unfortunately, since probably the 80s. I mean, they've been good early 2000s, mid 2000s. Obviously, the past few years, they've been won two of the last three national championships, but they were the team of the decade in the 90s. They were like the Braves in the 90s. That's how long they've been that good. It's just crazy to think with how talented they are. I don't think they go over here. I think they win. They beat Oklahoma here. Jay Johnson, I trust him too much and just as much talent as there is. There's no way those players don't win a game here in Hoover. So round two, obviously first round bye. Those were the no buys. Round two is the first round bye, and the quarterfinals are the top four seeds that have a bye or double bye. Excuse me. Round two, single buys. We get Ole Miss, Mississippi State again. A huge rivalry here in Hoover. Not only there, but also obviously whenever they play each other in any sport, let alone at the Dude or Swayze, Mississippi State is undefeated versus Ole Miss. And man, I've seen these teams play in Hoover before. A walk off in Mississippi State ended Ole Miss's season. Connor Hughes hit a walk off bomb. I was behind him play. It was unbelievable to watch. It was the most electric atmosphere in Hoover that I've ever seen. Of the what 15 maybe close to 28 games I've seen in Hoover over the past 2 years. I don't see Ole Miss losing this game though. I really don't. It's so hard to beat a team three times, let alone four. Like Ole Miss, like Ole Miss has been beaten by Mississippi State, their rival, four times this season. Weekend series and then a midweek. I don't see it happening a fifth time. I love how Ole Miss is playing. Mississippi State's been very up and down this season. It feels like they're 4-6 in their last 10. Yes, Ole Miss is 5-5 in their last 10, but I just trust the pitching here more for Ole Miss, even though Mississippi State has a much better offense at a 314 batting average versus Ole Miss's 267. I just Hoover is a place where balls go to die. And it is a pitcher's ballpark. The ball doesn't travel that well, doesn't fly. The gaps are huge. Pitching, I think, wins so much more, and I've seen it firsthand here. I just trust Ole Miss to go on a run here. I think you never know. Ole Miss could climb into that top eight national seed with a deep run. They have the number three strength of schedule, the number 15 non-conference RPI, or number 25 non-conference RPI, and number 92 non-conference strength of schedule. They're sitting at 15 in the RPI. They've got a lot to play for. They really do. And so I think, why not? They're got to be thinking, why not us? It's one of those things that, yes, Mississippi State's got the 12th ranked RPI, seventh strength of schedule. They have the fourth non-conference RPI and 133rd non-conference strength of schedule. They're a lock for hosting, I think, whether they win a game or not. I mean, I think winning a game obviously helps them, but it's one of those things that I think when you have something to play for in Hoover and you have the opportunity to go out and win it and do that, and you can do it against your rival, this game's going to be, it's a 10:30 game on the Wednesday, but I promise you it will be, you would never know. It's going to be that many fans there, but give me Ole Miss. They have a 42% chance, apparently, according to college baseball insiders. Give me the upset. It's Hoover. Weird things happen. Weird things happen. Game six, Vanderbilt, the 12 versus 5 of Florida. Just give me Florida. Florida's too dominant on the mound, and honestly at the plate too. They're playing phenomenal baseball, some of the best baseball in the SEC for sure. 8-2 their last 10. They're batting 270 as a team. Their ERA, they're one of the best pitching staffs in the SEC. I think you can absolutely say that. You have Aiden King, who got SEC Pitcher of the Year. I don't even think he pitches in this game. I think you go Liam Peterson, and then you have, or honestly, I think they rest him and just maybe do a bullpen game. Just get like a Johnny Holstaff, give me a long start, and then you save your bullets of Liam Pearson and Aiden King, one of the best 1-2 punches in the SEC for the quarterfinals and semifinals, and then it's all hands on deck for the championship if they make it. So give me give me Florida in this one. I think it's not going to be close. I think they're too good on both sides of the ball compared to the Vandy boys. And I think with that, it ends Vanderbilt's postseason streak of 19 regionals in a row. 18 or 19, I can't remember which exactly it is, but game seven, the later afternoon game, 10-7 Arkansas, or sorry, 10-7 Tennessee, Arkansas, 60% chance for Arkansas to win, but give me Tennessee Volunteers. I just think they come into this playing hot. They come in off that game before, they're not coming in cold. They're coming off a win versus South Carolina, playing well. Yes, Arkansas 7-3 in their last 10. I think that just momentum's a huge thing. And yes, Tennessee 6-4, but I love in their last 10. I love how they're playing though. It is the thing. And it would not surprise me if Arkansas won this game. I think it's probably going to be about a 7-6, 6-5 ball game. But I think that when you have Tegan Coons, the amount and how he's been pitching as of late, it's it's going to be so hard to hit. We saw what he did to one of the best lines in the country in Texas. 15 punchies. He dominated. Look, he's been pitching his best. He's made a lot of money in that game. He's going to go out there and prove it in front of all these scouts during the SEC tournament. I've sat there by home plate with them, talked to him, and just this is where you go and make money, and this is where you can do that and raise your draft value in stock. And I think Tegan Coons goes and does that after they throw Evan Blanco in game one against South Carolina. I mean, you got just a ton of talent up and down the lineup on both sides. Like I said, wouldn't surprise me. Arkansas wins. I mean, I think they're either going to go Hunter Dietz or Gabe Gakel, but I'd say probably. I don't think they can take this lightly. I think David Horn knows that, and I think he's going to go with Hunter Dietz. I mean, he's got a 35% strikeout rate. He's so good. This game is probably going to be like a 6-5 game because of the bullpen. It'll probably go into it late in the innings and be a 3-4, 3-2 kind of game. Um, but I mean, give me Tennessee. Give me the Vols here. So going with them, and then they advance obviously to this quarterfinals. Well, they'll play Texas as well. Game eight, the last game of the first round, that night game, LSU Auburn. And yes, LSU isn't guaranteed to make it past the first round with Oklahoma, but I have them doing that. And I think LSU fans are playing to going to be, no matter how bad this season's been for them, to be there because they have to show up, and that's just who they are. They will be there. I promise you that. But Auburn's been one of the best teams in the country all year. I've loved how they pick. They were my dark horse in the SEC beginning of the year. Auburn and Alabama, ironically, going to throw that out there. Yes, Auburn's 5-5 in the last 10. LSU's 4-6, but just Auburn's batting a point under 300 as a team. They have a WRC plus just over 100. So does LSU. But the pitching staff for Auburn is so deep and so good. I don't think that they throw obviously their top guy, because if they want to go deep in this, and I think they will, they don't throw Jake Marciano. They throw like an Alex Petrovic who's been unbelievable on the mound. He's got a 5% walk rate, 23.5% strikeout rate. He's been unbelievable. 9-2 this year with a 3.38 ERA. He's been so good. And I think LSU knows that. So they, in game one against Oklahoma, they throw William Schmidt. Game two here against Auburn, they throw Casey Evans. And yes, he's 2-3, but with a 6.27 ERA. But he's pitched in big ball games, obviously, in his career so far, so his young career. And I think he's going to be up for the challenge. I think it's obviously going to be all hands on deck for LSU the entire tournament. But when you have guys like Chase Frey, like Ethan Bingham, Bub Terrell, who have all been Auburn's top hitters, producing every single week. I mean, Chase Frey's batting over 1,000 OPS. Bingham, Bingaman and Bub Terrell are both just barely under 1,000 OPS. I just think it's too much on both sides of the ball for LSU to handle, and that Auburn's played one of the best and hardest schedules in college baseball all year and have proven it, that they are one of the best teams for a reason. Give me the Auburn Tigers to win this one and go deep, obviously, here in Hoover. So, game nine, the quarterfinals. This is the double round bye, which Georgia, the number one seed, the SEC regular season champion, Georgia Bulldogs, first time that they've claimed that title since 2008 under the team that went to Omaha and lost in the championship. I'm sorry, Georgia fans, to Fresno State, one of the last Cinderellas in college baseball. They don't have anything to play for here except bragging rights of winning not only the SEC regular season, but the conference tournament as well. I don't see Georgia losing the game. I don't see Georgia not winning a game here in Hoover. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs. They're too dominant. They're going to be fully rested. They're going to come into this with some swag, some confidence. I don't think they come in lightly at all because they have proven, like, hey, like, we're the SEC champs. We're coming in. We're taking care of business here as well. Give me Georgia to win a game. I don't think they go 0 for here in Hoover. They're going to show out too, especially with that game being later in the week. It's going to be on a Thursday. I don't think Georgia fans care. They will be there and pack that place out to prove we are we are the University of Georgia. We are the SEC regular season champs. We're going to prove it with our presence and make a huge statement there. Give me Georgia there over Ole Miss. Game 10. It's an 8 p.m. game. Now, since there's the semifinals, these are no more morning games, no more early afternoon games as much. Night game, Florida, Alabama. 5-4 matchup. Give me the Florida Gators. Yes, I know Auburn swept them in the regular season. Mississippi State swept Ole Miss in the regular season. 4 games with the midweek as well. It's so hard to beat a team that many times. And I think Florida's playing some of the best baseball as well in the country in the SEC. Both teams, yes, are 8-2 in their last 10. I think I just trust the depth that Florida has more than Alabama. And what Rob Vaughn, side note, has done with this Alabama team, yes, Jay Johnson, or sorry, excuse me, yes, Wes Johnson won SEC Coach of the Year, and rightfully so. I think there was a case for Rob Vaughn, Alabama, with how many injuries and adversity they've had to deal with, and just yes, they had this all this talent coming in. Another dark horse, like I talked about, coming into the SEC season, it was Alabama and Auburn for so many reasons, and Alabama's was because they had one of the best, if not the best, entry incoming classes in college baseball, and you've had Justin LeBron, who's been battling injuries and just hasn't played his best brand of baseball at all, and you have guys that are stepping up constantly producing. In Auburn, sorry, Alabama, they have the sixth RPI in the country, their fourth strength of schedule, seventh non conference RPI, and they have the 24th best non conference strength of schedule. 18 wins coming into the tournament for them in the SEC. I mean, they've gone through the gauntlet of the SEC. They just took 2 of 3 versus Ole Miss. And they haven't really looked back. They've turned a page of just like, hey, we're taking care of business and dominating the rest of the schedule after they lost a series at Tennessee, which was a tough series after they got blown out those last 2 games. They were neck and neck with Texas in a series, even though they lost it at Texas. Those last 2 games, they won the game 3 to salvage the series. They didn't get swept on the road, but I just love how Rob Vaughn and this Alabama team have played this season. But it's Florida, and yes, they don't travel. Florida, for some reason, I don't understand. I still haven't figured it out. No matter if it's Hoover or the College World Series, Florida does not travel. They are probably one of the worst traveling teams in the SEC, especially with how good they are. They've had a national championship within the past 10 years. It's that weird, and I don't understand. I don't know if I ever will, but give me Florida to upset here. From a seeding standpoint, I think they're just too strong and too balanced across the board from hitting to pitching. You have guys that produce, like I said, they're gonna throw Aiden King, and you gotta guess that Alabama's probably gonna throw Miles Upchurch. I mean, I'd probably go Miles Upchurch in this situation. The 3.34 ERA, just under a 24 strikeout percentage. He does walk a lot of guys at a 13.5 almost percent walk ratio, which is over twice as high as the like league average and just a average good metric. Aiden King 5% walk ratio, 26.5% strikeout ratio, a 2.5 ERA in 79 innings pitched, 8-2 on the season. Like I said, SEC Pitcher of the Year, Aiden King. I think he outduels them. The lineup of Brendan Lawson, Cade McDonald, and Blake Sear just they play doubles. They're just such a big doubles machine, even though they pop a lot of home runs. You got 14 home runs for Brendan Lawson, 11 for Sear. Only 5 for McDonald, but like just the brand of baseball that they play, they can beat you multiple ways. And I trust them a lot more. I trust Kevin O'Sullivan to pull the right strings, the right pieces at the right time. Give me Florida to upset over Alabama and not gets the season sweep at the hand and the cost of Alabama for them to advance to the semifinals. Florida semifinals versus Georgia. Preview that soon. Game 11, 4 p.m. on the 22nd. Now we're getting into the weekend, Friday afternoon, Tennessee, Texas. We all know who the real UT is, but it's going to be the battle of the real UT again. And 10 seed Tennessee or 2 seed Texas. The guys over at CBI have Texas as 85% chance to win this matchup head to head. Tennessee 6-4 in the last 10, Texas 7-3 in the last 10. I mean, you have Texas is better from both an offensive standpoint, average, WOBA, weighted runs created plus, ERA, just everything on both sides of the ball. But that doesn't mean it's going to be an easy win. I think Texas scrapes away a win here for two reasons. I think they're the better team on both sides. They're going to come in fully rested. They're not going to be in game three, as I expect for Tennessee to be in this tournament under the heat and just early. Yes, the last week of the regular season conference series was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Sunday off, Monday off, no midweek Tuesday because the conference tournament starts on Tuesday. Texas comes in fully rested. I don't see Texas not winning a game here in Hoover. Do they have anything to play for? Not really, but other than winning the conference tournament, which I saw a quote from a player and I 100% stand by it. If you don't want to win the conference tournament, don't get on the plane or bus. I 100% stand by that. And I think that's going to go for every single player in the SEC as well, no matter how many innings or at bats you have. Give me Texas advance to semifinals, and where they will play the winner of game 12, the 6 versus 3 matchup of Auburn, Texas A&M. Night game, Friday night. This game is going to be electric. I think both fans, obviously Auburn being just down the road in Auburn, Alabama from Hoover, it's going to be a sold out crowd. Texas A&M, I think they travel insanely well and deep for this. College Baseball Insiders has Texas A&M as a 55% chance to win this game over Auburn. Give me the Auburn Tigers. Like I said, one of the best teams in college baseball because they've done one of the best jobs playing one of the hardest schedules in the country in the SEC week after week after week. I mean, last 10 they're both 5-5. Sure, it's the SEC though, and neither one of them are limping into the postseason. They're both going to be hosting regionals. I mean, there's a chance that both of them there's honestly a really good chance that both of them host a super regional if they make it there. I mean, Auburn absolutely, Texas A&M, yeah, it's a really good shot they can. So a lot to play for, I think, for both teams. A win for A&M would really help that case as well. Auburn, I think they kind of lock that in. Um, but this is one of those games that I think is going to be so important for both teams and just go out and say, hey, like, you want to go win a national championship? This is a stage in a game that's going to model that and represent this type of talent and team. And when you look at it, the lineup that Texas A&M has of Caden Sorrell, Gavin Grohoback, who's been unbelievable in batting almost just under 1,200 OPS, 19 home runs. He's looking every bit of himself from his freshman SEC Player of the Year time and season after the injuries he had last year. 351 average. Blake Binder up, just an unbelievable season for him. He's about probably clipped 10 home runs if I had to guess for sure this season. But the pitching matchup you're going to get in this game of Aiden Sims on the mound, if he throws, I'm not sure if he's going or not, but if he throws versus Jake Marciano, I don't care that he's 4-5 in the season because when I've seen him pitch in Arlington and seeing his stuff and how well it's played in his 2.74 ERA, 31% strikeout rate, 5% walk rate, that's going to be just appointment viewing television if A&M throws Aiden Sims. I'm not 100% sure they will. Weston Moss could throw. Wouldn't hate it. Wouldn't love it though. I personally would like to see Aiden Sims, Jake Marciano, but I mean, I don't care. I think it's gonna be a great game either way. I think just the chess match that both teams and coaches are gonna have of the pitching staffs, the timeliness of hitting of players. I mean, it's gonna be so much fun to watch this game. This might be one of my favorite games of the SEC tournament. I just think that Auburn has proven themselves more this season against better teams throughout the entire season, week after week after week, than A&M. And it's the home field. They got the home field advantage. The crowd just down the road. They're going to show up, show out. Give me the Auburn Tigers advance to semifinals on the weekend where they will play Texas in game 14. But game 13 first, obviously, Georgia, number 1 seed versus number 5 seed Florida. Give me Florida in this. Why not? First off, it's Hoover. Anything can happen. Yes, Florida doesn't travel. I expect Georgia to absolutely travel. I believe that Georgia. I mean, I don't want to say Georgia doesn't have anything to play for because they don't unless they want to, and they do. Say they won the regular season SEC tournament as well as the conference tournament. But like Florida has a lot to play for, and I think they have the bolts to do so from the offense production. Yes, I think Georgia's the better team, but regional preparation for certain teams versus others is different. Will Wes Johnson throw all his go-to guys in the bullpen? I don't think he's gonna, hand it away. I think he's gonna try to, not use every single go-to arm he has in the pen. And I think Florida, if you think about it, Florida could absolutely host a super regional if they get to there because they're sitting right now at an RPI of 9. They have a strength of schedule of number 2 in the country, non-conference strength of schedule of 19, and non-conference RPI of 19, non-conference strength of schedule of 22. They absolutely, with 15 quad one wins, could absolutely and probably will host a super regional at Conjure Family Ballpark because Georgia's already going to do that if they get into the Super. They'll host. So like so much more is on the line for Florida. I think they go out there and win it. Give me the upset. Give me Florida the 5 over the 1 in the semifinals to go to the championship and face the winner of Game 14, which will be following that game. That's a 1 p.m. game, which kind of sucks, but like is what it is because you got to have the other game. It'll probably be like a 6 o'clock game if I had to guess. Texas, the number 2 seed versus Auburn, the number 6 seed. I just love Auburn in this. I think that it would not surprise me if Texas wins this and goes to the championship of the conference tournament. But the way that Auburn's playing, even though they're 5-5 in their last 10 games, and Texas is 7-3, the guys at College Baseball Insider give Texas a 67% chance versus Auburn here, as Auburn has a 33% chance to win this. I think I like the depth of Auburn in this style and what it means and what they are trying to continue to prove and what they've been doing all year, playing some of the best, the number one strength of schedule, the best competition, the best season schedule of anyone, and have done it on the biggest stages. I think that it's going to just have that home field advantage. Like I said, I think that's so big in this, even though a lot of fan bases travel, there are some that don't, like I said, Florida. But I think just, I like the back end of the bullpen as well for Auburn. I mean, you got a 3.85 bullpen with a 1.32 whip, ERA and whip, and then you have yes, their strikeout to walk ratio isn't the best. I mean, it's just under an 18, which you'd like to be kind of a 3-1, so a little bit higher than that. But I trust it more than Texas is right now. They have a 4.91 ERA with a 1.32 whip, so the same whip as Auburn. ERA obviously a little bit different metrics. I like comparing both because things like that can really compare and show okay how accurate is ERA versus what we're seeing in whips walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. It's what the pitchers can control a lot more. So I like that as well. 31%, a 30% strikeout rate, 19.8% strikeout to walk ratio. Um, I trust the back end bullpen and what Butch Thompson, the moves he's made this season, along with his pitching coach, and just how they've done it. Yes, Texas has SEC freshman of the year and Anthony Pack Jr. and SEC newcomer of the year and Aiden Robinson. Just two of the best players. So much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. I immediately thought when I was out in Austin, Texas for the Texas Michigan State series, these two guys are going to be absolute studs. I was wondering, I was like, how is the transition for Aiden Robinson going to be coming from Seton Hall to the SEC and Texas? He's answered every single call and then some. Over 1,100 OPS, 19 home runs. He will clip 20 home runs this season. 132 WRC plus. Anthony Pack Jr. 124 WRC plus as a freshman. He was my SEC freshman of the year pick 3 weeks ago, and I thought I got absolutely blasted on it, Twitter about it because oh, have you ever seen this guy play this? It's just like the proof's in the pudding. He produced it every single weekend and won the SEC Freshman of the Year title. 360 batting average and 234 plate appearances as a freshman is a lot. Batting just under a 500 on base percentage, over 1,000 OPS, 7 home runs. I mean, he's been on a tear, but give me Butch Thompson and the Auburn Tigers to go to the championship here, where they will face, in my prediction, the Florida Gators in a fun one on Sunday at 2 o'clock, 5 versus 6, Florida and Auburn. Like I said, I think the double bye is unbelievably huge in college baseball in the postseason tournaments like this for pitching and just everything that it means from a saving the guys, saving their legs, getting there a day later, not in the heat. not just burning those arms out of the bullpen. But with the weather, you can't predict anything this year. And it's supposed to rain half half the tournament, it feels like. So give me two teams, both that have a single bye to make the championship in Florida and Auburn. And here, and guys at College Baseball Insiders have a 52% chance for Florida, 48% chance for Auburn. Like I said, 8-2 in the last 10 for Florida, 5-5 in the last 10 for Auburn. This is going to be just an all hands on deck because if Florida wins this championship, they absolutely will host a super if they make it that far. I just I think it's going to come down to the bullpens for both these teams. And when you think about it and look at the numbers, they're incredibly similar in bullpens. I mean, you have what I like, and the reason why I have Auburn winning the SEC conference tournament. You have 11 arms in the bullpen versus the 7 arms primarily for Florida in the bullpen. But stat wise comparison, Florida to Auburn, Florida 3.94 ERA, Auburn 3.85 ERA, Florida 1.17 whip to Auburn's 1.32 whip. Strikeout to walk ratio 21. There's that 3-to-1 ratio, 21 strikeout to walk ratio percentage. Auburn 17.8, a little bit lower, but I think it's probably more so on the strikeout side of things because it's 3% less strikeouts for Auburn than Florida's bullpen. If we're keeping up with the numbers, a lot of numbers I know, but I love looking at the analytics and the numbers of things because we know numbers never lie. Numbers never lie. But I like the depth of Auburn's bullpen a little bit more in just what you're going to get from a consistency basis out of the bullpen. And I think, like I said, how big of a ballpark Hoover is, balls go to die there. You don't care how hot it is, whether if it's even raining. Like it's a pitcher's ballpark and a defensive ballpark, and I trust Auburn a little bit more in that facet in that area than Florida. And I think I don't want to say they have an easier road, but I trust them getting to the finals more too is a big thing for me. Um, like I said, no one's played a better and harder schedule and done better than Auburn has this season. Yes, they also went to Florida and took 2 of 3 in Gainesville in late April. They lost game one, 6-3. They come back game two and game three, 5-3 win, 8-5 win. That's that's going out there and proving who you are on the road. Winning series on the road is one of the biggest and hardest things to do in the SEC. Auburn's continually proven to do that and to do that at Florida. I think that's going to play dividends to how they approach them from a hitting and pitching standpoint. So give me the Auburn Tigers with the home field advantage, the home crowd, and the team that doesn't travel, that travels probably the least with how good they are, the ratio of travel to elite level playing and success of Florida. Give me the Auburn Tigers to win the SEC tournament in the championship over the Florida Gators. The 6 seed takes down the 5 seed. Auburn Tigers, SEC tournament 2026 champions, hosting a super, hosting obviously a regional as well, and probably a top 3 team in college baseball come NCAA postseason tournament time. So, according to the guys at College Baseball Insiders, shout out them again. Texas win percentage for the SEC tournament per their model. Texas a 24% chance to win the tournament. Georgia 23% chance. Florida a 12% chance. Auburn 11% chance. That's what I'm going with. The Auburn Tigers that 11% chance. Like that a lot. A&M a 9% chance. Mississippi State a 6% chance. Arkansas 5% chance. Ole Miss 4% chance. Then you have Alabama at a 3% chance. Surprisingly, I'm really shocked to see that, honestly, that low. Tennessee, 2% chance. Vanderbilt, 1%. 1% for Oklahoma Sooners. Less than 1% for LSU. Less than 1% for Kentucky. And a 0% chance to win it for Missouri and South Carolina. So to make it to the finals, though, we'll hit a couple of these. Texas, obviously, 41% chance to make it to the finals. 40% chance for Florida. Or sorry, 40% chance for Georgia, 23% chance to make the finals for Florida, surprisingly enough. Auburn, 21% chance to make it to the finals. Actually, that makes more sense now when you look at the numbers across the board. Texas A&M, a 21% chance to make it to the finals as well. Mississippi State, a 14% chance to make it to the finals. And Arkansas, rounding out double digits of 10% chance to make it to the finals. So excited to see how that unfolds and what those metrics look like and how those percentages. I'm gonna keep up with those percentages throughout and just think of like, man, like that makes a lot of sense. And just I'm like I said, big numbers guy. I'm gonna be watching that and just see not how good their model is because I trust it a lot, but just kind of keep that in back of my head, back of my pocket. But that rounds out my SEC tournament preview and prediction from a bracket standpoint, I'd say get a couple of just quick hitters of most exciting games, um, and least exciting games. I'd say most exciting games outside the finals and semifinals. So round one, two, and quarterfinals, the first 3 days. I've got to go Tennessee, Texas. I think is going to be one of the most exciting games there. I think both teams travel for sure. I know a bunch of Texas fans I've talked to already, and insiders that are going to be there for that. Tennessee not too far down the road as well. Auburn and Texas A&M, another electric game. I think that's going to be a sold out crowd. It's a night game Friday night. Um, I honestly, I'd say Georgia. I'd say Georgia and Ole Miss too. Even if it's Georgia Mississippi State, I think that's gonna be a sold out game, 4 p.m. on that Thursday. Let's see what else. I mean, that 5:30 game against Tennessee and Arkansas, game seven. I think that's gonna be a really exciting game and just a packed game. It goes without mentioning, obviously, game five, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Even though it's a 10:30 game, I think it's gonna be the most insanely packed, loud, energetic 10:30 a.m. game you will ever see this season. Uh, Least exciting games, definitely game one, 10:30 a.m. on a Tuesday, Missouri Ole Miss. I don't think Ole Miss fans care to show up for that one, to be honest with you. I think Kentucky Vanderbilt, 2 p.m. game two, won't be won't be it'll be kind of quiet, calm crowd there. You'll hear a lot of back cracks. You'll hear a lot of players chatting and whatnot. I even think game four, LSU Oklahoma, won't be at a 9 p.m. game on that was it Tuesday. I mean, there'll be people there just because it's a night game, but I don't think that's going to be as busy as it should be. But yeah, most of the least exciting games there for me. I'm honestly excited. I think Hoover's an awesome experience. Like I said, the Fan Fest is incredible for families, for kids. SEC Network does a phenomenal job putting it on. They take care of the media incredibly well. The fans are awesome. It's so cool to see all the fan bases come together, interact. Met so many great fans from different schools. Um, Most notably, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, LSU. Um, Least notably, Missouri, of course. I'd say Kentucky and South Carolina, Florida, of course, and surprisingly Georgia. And it's really, really interesting to see. So I'm going to be interested to see how many Georgia fans show up, and what that looks like from a standpoint of just number of Georgia fans there and when they show up. But yeah, excited for SEC baseball tournament. It's one of the coolest weeks, obviously, before the regionals and everything else. Regionals is best weekend by far of the season outside of Omaha. So excited for the SEC tournament. I think it's gonna be a phenomenal, phenomenal tournament. Even though there will be rain delays, and I expect there to be two rain delays of some sort. Length could vary, obviously, but excited for that. And I think we're gonna be in for a treat. So cancel your plans. Go to the grocery store, get all your groceries, start cooking at home. Unless you're going to Hoover, which I love that for you if you are. I will have quad boxes on all SEC tournament, all tournament throughout the week for SEC, ACC, and beyond. Excited to cover it and keep up with it and watch some incredible baseball. So, yeah, without further ado, that will wrap it here. I'll cut it here for SEC tournament baseball preview 2026 season. Stay tuned. Excited to follow along and get as much content as I can out during it. Hopefully, you got some value out of it, tuned in. Thanks for tuning in and watching. If you watch all the way in, share it with someone you think would get some value out of this. Help grow the game of college baseball. It's literally the people's sport. So many people say that, and it really is. And it's such an underrated aspect. But the numbers, they're skyrocketing viewership all season long. So go out, watch some college baseball, enjoy the SEC tournament, and I'll see you for the NCAA Regionals preview.